Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to another session of your social science children. We have been seeing a lesson in geography which is all about our country India and its location and physical divisions, right? So in that we have seen about the northern plains, yes, and then about the Thar Desert, which is also called as the Great Indian Desert. We have seen about that in our previous session. So today, what are we going to see? We are going to see about the Peninsular Plateaus and then about the coastal plains and then about the island groups. So we have already completed seeing about, yes, the northern mountains, then the northern plains and the Thar Desert. We have completed these three. So today we are going to see the other three, right? The Peninsula Plateau, the coastal plains and the island groups of our country, right? So now when it comes to Peninsular Plateau, in our first session itself I have told you that the word peninsula means a place which is covered by water on three sides and land on one side. Okay, so as we know that India is covered by Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean on the three sides and then the Himalayan mountains on the northern side. We call it as a peninsula. So we will see about the plateaus of this peninsula, right? So we already know about the various landforms on the earth, right? Mountains, plateaus, plains, all these we have seen. So what is a plateau? A plateau is an elevated structure, yes, but it is not higher as a mountain is, yes. And then the plateau is a flat surface, that is, it is like a flat on the top and the sides are rolling or steep. So that is what we call it as tableland. Hope you remember all these, right? So now first let us understand where are these plateaus located, right? So the plateaus are located to the south of the northern plains. So the topmost part we have seen the northern mountains and then came the northern plains and now we are going to see about the plateaus, okay? So they are located to the south of northern plains. So when it is in the map, just below the northern plains we have these plateaus and then they are made up of igneous and metamorphic rocks. These are all the types of rocks. Okay, so we will be learning about this in your later classes. So they are made up of igneous and metamorphic rocks. So it is the oldest landform in India. The plateaus are the oldest landforms of our country and there are two main parts of these plateaus. Okay, so one is the Central Highlands and the other one is the Deccan Plateau. So the Central Highlands, yes, it consists of two plateaus, two important plateaus. One is the Malwa Plateau which is located here. Okay, Malwa Plateau which is located here and the other one is Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, so these two plateaus together we call it as Central Highlands and then we have Deccan Plateau in the southern part of our country, right? Now, so here you could see this part is Central Highlands and then here we have Deccan Plateau and this part is Chota Nagpur Plateau. So let us see about that in detail now. So when it comes to the Central Highlands, they lie to the south of the northern plains and to the north of the Satpura range. Satpura range is a range of mountains. So it is just above the Satpura hill range and it is just below the northern plains. So that particular area we call it as the Central Highlands. So it is further divided into two. One is Malwa Plateau and the other one is Chota Nagpur Plateau. So here this is an image of Malwa Plateau. So it is bordered. See, any particular place, it has its own political boundaries, it has its own borders, right? So the same way, this Malwa Plateau is bordered by the Aravalli range in the northwest and Vindhya mountains in the southeast. Okay, so on the northwest part, that is the direction which is between north and west, we call it as northwest. The same way southeast also. Okay, so this Malwa Plateau is covered by Aravalli range on the northwestern side and Vindhya mountains on the southeast side. And there is a highest peak in this particular region, in this plateau, in Malwa Plateau. We call it as Guru Shikhar in Mount Abu. Okay, so in Mount Abu there is the highest peak of this place, which is called as Guru Shikhar, right? So here you could see Aravalli range is there in the northwestern part and Vindhyas are there on the southeast part, and here also you could see Satpuras, right? So this is the place of Malwa Plateau. This is where Malwa Plateau is located. Clear? Yes. Next. So there are two main rivers that passes through this plateau. One is Chambal and Betwa. Okay, the other one is Betwa. So this originates in Vindhyas and it flows northwards and it joins in Yamuna. Okay, so when you go back to this map, you could see Yamuna river flows this side, okay, on the northern side of this plateau. So two rivers that starts from Vindhyas, what are they? Chambal and Betwa. So those two rivers that starts or originates from Vindhyas, it passes through this plateau and it gets connected to the Yamuna river. And also the river Narmada and Tapti flows westwards towards the Arabian Sea. Okay, so the two other important rivers, Narmada river and Tapti river, that flows through this plateau and it gets and it flows westwards towards Arabian Sea. Okay, so here you could see Narmada and Tapti river that is flowing westwards. This is the western direction, right? So these two rivers flows westwards and it gets connected to this Arabian Sea. Then we could see various rivers in this plateaus, and here we are seeing about Chota Nagpur Plateau. So this is the image which I showed you now. It is all about Chota Nagpur Plateau, right? So this Chota Nagpur Plateau is located to the east of Malwa Plateau. As we have seen, Malwa Plateau is located in west. The same way towards the east we have this Chota Nagpur Plateau, and the Subarnarekha and the Damodar rivers drain the plateau. So the two rivers that flows through this plateaus are Subarnarekha and Damodar rivers. Okay. So the Chota Nagpur Plateau has the rich deposits of minerals like iron ore, coal and limestone. So this plateau is very rich in these minerals, right? Then here you could see Damodar river flowing. Yes, Damodar river, and here you could see Subarnarekha river flowing, right? So this is the location of Chota Nagpur Plateau. Next. So this is exactly where this Chota Nagpur Plateau is located in India. Yes, so now we are getting into Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau, as we know, it lies to the south of Satpura range. We have already seen Satpura range. It lies just below the Satpura range and it is to the south of Narmada river also, right? And a large part of the plateau is made up of volcanic rocks that has been weathered to form fertile black soil. So as we have seen, this we have seen in the major landforms lesson about formation of plains, plateaus we have seen, right? After this volcanic eruption, this lava flows down and that forms a soil called as black soil. which is very rich in minerals. We have seen that. Hope you remember that. Yes. So this plateau is mainly formed by the volcanic rocks, and then it has a rich deposits of minerals like coal and iron ore. So these minerals are very rich in Deccan Plateau. So here you could see Deccan Plateau, yes, lies to the south of Satpuras. Yes, here Satpuras is located, so it lies to the south of Satpuras, and here you could see Narmada river, right? This is Narmada river. So it lies to the south of Narmada river also. So this is the place where Deccan Plateau is located. It is triangular shaped landform, right? Next. So the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau consist of mountain ranges which is known as Ghats. Okay. So here you could see this is Deccan Plateau, this is the western side and this is the eastern side, right? So the western side of the Deccan Plateau is covered by a series of mountains which we call it as Western Ghats. The same way on the eastern side there are mountain ranges which we call it as Eastern Ghats. Okay. So these Western Ghats are also called as Sahyadri. It is also called as Sahyadri, right? And these mountains are little higher when compared to this Eastern Ghats. Okay. So now, so that is what I told you. The Western Ghats, also known as Sahyadri, are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Now, here you could see exactly where the Western Ghats is found. 1 minute. Yes. So here, okay. So all these are the places of Western Ghats, and here you could see Eastern Ghats is located here. Fine. So what are all the states through which these mountains passes? So let us see about that. Yes. So this Western Ghats passes from Gujarat up to Kanyakumari. Okay. It starts in Gujarat and it ends up in Kanyakumari. The same way Eastern Ghats flows from West Bengal up to Tamil Nadu. Right. So this Eastern Ghats, when it starts at West Bengal and it ends up in Tamil Nadu, it merges at the Nilgiri Hills. Here you could see Nilgiri Hills is a place where Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats meet. Okay. So that is all about the location of Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. So here you could see the various important rivers that passes through the mountain. So here you could see Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. All these rivers passes through the Ghats, these mountains. Okay. So here, as I told you, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri flows eastwards from the Western Ghats through the Deccan Plateau to the Bay of Bengal. So I am showing it to you again. So as we know, see this part is Western Ghats we have seen. So these rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri, all these are flowing towards eastern direction. This is the eastern direction and they all get drained at Bay of Bengal, right? Yes. Now, yes. So now we are going to see about the coastal region or the coastal plains, which means the places which are near to the sea. Okay, so that is what we are going to see about now. So while starting in this lesson itself, we have seen that we have a very vast coastal region of about 7,516.6 kilometers, which includes the island groups also. Yes, hope you remember that. Yes. So the Peninsula Plateau is bordered on the east and west by long stretch of coastal plains. Okay. So as we know, these places are very narrow. Why is it narrow? Because we have oceans on both sides, east and west we have oceans, and the coastal plains are the places which are just near to that oceans, but it is very narrow because we have on the western side we have Western Ghats and on the eastern side we have Eastern Ghats. So, okay, so when it is on the eastern side, the place between the Bay of Bengal and the Eastern Ghats, the place in between, we call it as East Coast region, right? The same way on the western side, the place between the Arabian Sea and Western Ghats, the place in between, we call it as West Coast region. Okay, so they run from Gulf of Kutch in the north up to Kanyakumari in the south. Okay. So, the western coastal plains, as I told you now, lies between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, and they are narrow, right? Now, the eastern coastal plains, okay, so this western coastal plains only, it runs from Gulf of Kutch up to the Kanyakumari, right? And the eastern coastal plains lies between Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal, but it is little broader when compared to western coastal plains. Okay, next. So this side, I mean the eastern side, it extends from the mouth of Ganga river up to Kanyakumari, right? So many rivers like Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri form fertile deltas in this area. So all these rivers are in this eastern coastal plain, so they form fertile deltas. So we know that delta is a place that is located nearby a river which is very fertile in nature and it is very much suitable for agriculture. Yes? Now, so here you could see the western coastal region and the eastern coastal region, which is highlighted in green color. Yes, so here this is the place Gulf of Kutch. And here is Kanyakumari. Yes, and here the Ganges river's mouth. River Ganges is there. So, from these places, the coastal plains of our country starts by. Now, so what is this? Yes, this is island. Island is a place which is covered by water on all the sides. On all the four sides, water is covered a land, and that is what we call it as island, right? So we are going to see about the island groups of our country. So there are two main island groups in India. One which we know as Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and the other one we call it as Lakshadweep Islands. So the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, it is a group of islands in which there are more than 300 islands in one place. Okay, so that is what Andaman and Nicobar is group of 300 small islands within that. Okay, so it is located in Bay of Bengal, and most of these are volcanic islands when it is in Andaman, right? So they are volcanic islands. So there are active volcanoes there even today, right? Here you could see a volcanic island in Andaman. So this is called as, this place is called as the Barren Island. So it is located in Andaman. Fine. So now, yes, so this is Andaman group is separated from the Nicobar group. Okay, so the Andaman group is separated from the Nicobar group by a 10-degree channel. So that is a latitudinal line which we measure it to be 10 degree. Okay, so that line separates Andaman group from this Nicobar group. Fine. So the Andaman group is separated from the Nicobar group by this 10-degree channel, and then there are indigenous tribes like Jarava and Onge inhabit the island. So there are a group of tribal people living in this island. They are called as Jarawa and Onge. Then, yes, so here you could see the Andaman Island. So this part is fully Andaman Island, and this part is Nicobar Island. And here you could see the 10-degree channel which separates Andaman and Nicobar. Fine. So now we are going to see about the Lakshadweep Islands. So they are a group of 36 coral islands that lie on Arabian Sea. Okay, so 36 coral islands that lies in the Arabian Sea, which means the western part of our country, and it is the smallest union territory in India. Okay, so this Andaman and Nicobar as well as this Lakshadweep is the union territory of our country, and Lakshadweep is the smallest union territory of our country. So here this is the picture of Lakshadweep Islands. That's all. With that, we have come to the end of the physical features of our country. We have learnt more about the natural features available in our country, which was very interesting. See you soon in the next lesson, children. Thank you. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.